Hi, I'm Jeff, and on today's topic on whether to have loved someone and lose them. I'll go with never to love person and somebody and lose them.
My name is Tindi Benita, and for me, love and lose someone because it's part of life, and love comes with a lot of suffering and pain, and from that you grow. So,
for me, I think it's good to love and lose.
Because when you love someone and lose them, it's quite a painful thing. It's a bad thing. It's a bad experience. It's something that is awkward.
grow. So love and lose, it's part of life.
Love is amazing, it's magical, it's beautiful. So don't fear it. Everything has a risk, that includes love. So guys, just get out there, fall in love, deeply in love. You won't regret it.
Your number one youth talk show on Treaty Trend on TV show brings you an amazing topic today. Is it better to have loved and lost or never to have loved at all? And on my panel today, I have Tindi.
I'm Jeff.
Sanguti.
And I'm your host, Sylvia. Let's go straight to our topic. Is it better to have loved and lost or never to have loved at all? What do you think about that?
Oh my goodness, this is quite cool, man. I'm even lucky not to say, like, it's a bit better to have loved or never loved before. But for me, meanwhile, 70% I give it, it's better to have loved.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you've been in a situation where you've never loved before, you've never experienced the love, you don't know what it contains.
So you've had your experience.
Kidogo, though, it's not the best thing, it's also.
Mm-hmm. Why is it not the best thing?
It's not the best thing also, because you love and lose someone. It's become now another like another pain.
But at least you have that moment.
You have that moment.
You feel that affection.
It depends. Sometimes you feel the affection and you're used to the affection. It gets to a point now you're used to this affection. When it's not there, it's like now your life has totally changed. Like you are in a bad situation before you ever loved before.
So me thinking is saying I wish I was there. Because
No, you cannot wish for something you don't know. Because until you test what love is, you have no idea what it is. I think for me, the human body, mind, and soul was designed to love.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's just nice to fall in love and experience it. Yeah, it's a magical thing to do.
Nice.
Yeah, so for me, you just love and lose someone. Although that is not your intention, that is not the reason why you're choosing to love this person, but just love and lose that person, because love comes with a lot of suffering and pain. So, and from that pain, it is where we grow. After losing that person, that is now when you realize, oh, so this is how I'm supposed to do it. Then from there you can make a decision, I'm not going to love again. But first, love and lose someone.
For me, I can go back and think. I'm thinking of an ideal situation. I'm thinking of an ideal situation where you just ever love and your love flourish and you don't have to lose that person. You just maybe get first love and you are into it. You're moving into this person. Despite you have challenges in the way, but you keep on moving even that you don't lose this person. Me, I'm wishing for an ideal situation. Although more like 90%.
And so there are some things you cannot avoid, but there are those you can avoid. So love and lose someone, you can do that. Just love and lose that person. Because where is you are?
And so that brings the question, why do we love? Why do we love?
And even before we move to that question of love and lose someone, all of them are losers. Because you love and lose someone maybe to death or maybe to petty issues and stuff, at the end of the day you lost that person.
Okay.
You're not remaining that love. So at the end of the day, you're going to cause some pain.
Okay, necessarily when for love, don't lose that person. When for love with different intentions.
Yes.
Mostly, we want to be with this person for a lifetime. But tunajaribu, we don't know if we'll get there. We are trying.
I think we need to understand that loving is complicated, and most of the time people kind of misunderstand. And once you misunderstand the concept of love, then the whole idea of loving becomes something entirely, foreign. For me, I think it's important to debunk what love is. You know, because people perceive love in different perspectives, and that perception kind of form the expectation they have at the end of the day. You don't necessarily have to love someone, you can love something, you know.
Yeah, and that is also why do you love? The reason behind it. You see, you have to have that reason.
For me,
like, do you love that person for who he is, what you want him to be? It's okay, maybe you see a vision and like, yeah, with the person.
The reason why we should love, and I believe this is because I'm not trying to look at it from a Christian perspective, but the reason why we should love is because we have been commanded to love by Christ. You know, we are not being specific, like what kind of love are we talking about? We are just talking about love. So the reason why we should love is because we have been commanded by Christ to love. But now coming to what we are talking about, because I believe we are like, from a point looking at it from a relationship perspective. So we love because we want that kind of feeling to be reciprocated back to us. So that is the reason why we choose to love this person. Because you know, you cannot love someone who is mean to you, someone who is unjust. We all want people we love people who we are proving their actions. Like wale waseme tunajua enyo staff anafanya iko right na mimi nataka afanye hivi. Huwezi penda msemo mwenye ako mean kwako, msemo mwenye hakutreat poa. So we love because we want that feeling to be reciprocated back to us.
For me, I take love as for me, love is taking care of one another. And that one is, in fact, it has affected me once. This time that I was in a certain church, I was fellowshipping with fellow youths. We were together and everything. And in fact, the last time, we even went to go eating and stuff. And then I got an accident. I was attacked. My phone was stolen and stuff. And I was hit hard on the head. I had to go down. And I thought those people are loving. So me for the like 2 days, 3 weeks to Nini, nobody even bothered to call me. That's where I felt the absence of the love. So for me, I take love as taking care of one another, looking up to me. Even if I'm in a relationship with a lady, I wish that lady just to get me to know where my way about, what are you doing today, how are you doing. For me, that is it. For me, love, because it affected me, and I even had to move from that time because I didn't see the love that maybe from my side I perceive love as is taking care of one another. Just being there for that person, not in happy moments only, but when that person is good. Because in this world, it's a love that will love me and us around. Sometimes somebody is lost, sometimes somebody is happy.
So for you, your point is it's better you don't love at all.
Yeah, I know. Love is a good thing. Love is a good thing. Love is a good thing, but it is painful when you lose that. It's a good thing when you have it, when you celebrate it, when you're having it fully. But when you lose it, it's quite difficult and it's quite a...
I think, if I may, people need to understand that when we find an opportunity to love someone, the possibility of losing that someone is real. Okay? Because then if you blind yourself to the fact that probably you might never lose this person, then when it happens, it becomes very hard for you to accept it. But if you engage in a relationship, knowing that there is a possibility that person might be lost for whatever reason, either disagreement or death or whatever, then with that in mind, it becomes very, I don't want to say easy, but kind of, accommodative to kind of, just deal with the loss.
Accommodate to the situation.
Yeah, deal with the loss. But also, I want to just touch on something that you have mentioned about the reasons why we love. For me, I think, as I began my conversation, I said that we as human beings have been designed to love. And love is motivated by improving the other person. Actually, it's not you who is a priority, okay? It's the other person. You're loving that person for who they are, and you wish them the best. You do everything to make sure that you are improving their lives. If that is reciprocated, the better. But if it doesn't, then you don't have to victimize the other person for not loving you back. You understand? And the reason why I'm saying that, I think the genesis of love is God. And when we talk about that, then we bring in the sacrifice part of it. You understand? Yeah, that if you're loving someone, you are ready to sacrifice without necessarily expecting something in return. You know? Yeah, so I think with that kind of understanding, that's why I say people have perceived love differently. And because of that difference in perception, we have different expectations. That is why somebody says, you have to do this for me because we are in love. You know, like you have to, you don't make demands. Love is, it just happens. If I want to buy you a gift, I'll just buy you a gift. You know, you don't have to say, I want this, I want that. You know, yeah, so.
And should there be roles in love?
Because the definition of love is supposed to be about sacrifice. But coming to my case, now that the temperature was low, I realized there was in love. Sometimes maybe you love someone, another person hasn't loved you. Because if there was love before, I think they could have even just. I didn't want somebody to help me to take care of my bills or stuff. My family taking care of us. I just wanted that person to help me guess how did it go, or stuff. So for me, I came to realize that love was not there.
There was no love.
There was no love.
Okay.
And for me, losing it, I don't think it was something that I lost it or something, because I've never had an experience where before that I was in that circumstance and they failed, or maybe they appeared, or maybe they did something. So it was one something circumstance until it can. If I had some other circumstances like this person, if they have ever helped me like this, and then this time they have not done it, I could have felt it as a loss.
Okay.
But coming to your question about rules in love.
Should there be rules?
No.
Because tunaona
It
some
depends
people
on-
are suffering, ama watu wanasema, no, I wouldn't engage myself into love simply because of some rules.
Rules, it depends. When you come to maybe the context of relationship, you can put rules in the relationship, in that love context.
Who creates the rules?
You can go have a set of rules, you're going to engage in this. In this relationship, want this and this. This one, no. This one, no. Like you are saying, no flattering in this relationship. That's your rule. I find your partner doing against it.
Hey, bro.
Hapo sawa. Lakini kuna vitu rules wao wanasema, maybe kuna watu huko nje sincerely wanapeana rules. Don't party, don't do this, no.
Let me say this before I give
Kuna
her
watu
opportunity.
wanapitia.
Let me say this. People who fall in love are mature. They are adults. People have gone through an experience in life. They have learned things. They have different matured personalities. Okay? So based on that personality is how it's going to shape your relationship. Yeah? If I'm a flirting guy, just because we are in a relationship, it doesn't have to change that. You understand? If I am a spender, just because we are in a relationship, you don't have to, you can talk to me about it, but you don't have to make it as a do or die in a relationship because of who I am. Remember, we are loving people to improve who they are, but we are not expecting the same from them. If it happens, the better. If it doesn't, then you let it go. That is the approach. So the aspect of setting rules and just walk out. If he's not the right person for you, or she's not the right person, you think they have issues that you can't deal with, just move on.
And if you think you can change that,
the concept of changing the concept of changing someone, especially through rules, I think it is entirely overrated. We need to be patient with the people we fall in love with. We need to be there for them even when we know that they have limits, that they have weaknesses, so that then in their own effort they can try and change for you. But the aspect of rules, I think for me it doesn't work.
okay.
Yeah.
So, him.
Hey,
supporting rules ziko. Yeah. Kuna watu, I can confess that there are people out there that wanna suffer sana because of this thing. Wanna care with their partners. Tindy, tell me, what do you think? Should rules be there?
No, Aki, I don't think. Rules for love. Kwanza, that is not even love in the first place. Because you cannot be having rules in love. You love a person for who she is or who he is, not who you want them to be, or rather who you think they will be after loving them. So if, just like Sambuti has said here, like, if you love a person and that person, if I'm a flirting person, you don't expect me to change for you just because you're in a relationship. If I can change in the process of us loving each other, then it's okay. If I don't, then just let it go. Rules I find in a relationship.
Yes, and I can just one thing. Sometimes yes, you can say the love that Sambuti has told us is about the love of sacrifice. You can say I'm going to sacrifice this love, no rules, no something, nothing big. You are not going to say maybe say. But here comes where now you put all these things, but one of the partners is taking advantage of that. Now it prompts you now to come and say, we're going to have a set of things that you cannot, these boundaries cannot go beyond this boundary.
No, Aki, I don't think. Rules for love. Kwanza, that is not even love in the first place. Because you cannot be having rules in love. You love a person for who she is or who he is, not who you want them to be, or rather who you think they will be after loving them. So if, just like Sambuti has said here, like, if you love a person and that person, if I'm a flirting person, you don't expect me to change for you just because you're in a relationship. If I can change in the process of us loving each other, then it's okay. If I don't, then just let it go. Rules I find in a relationship.
Yes, and I can just one thing. Sometimes yes, you can say the love that Sambuti has told us is about the love of sacrifice. You can say I'm going to sacrifice for this love. No rules, no something, nothing big. You are not going to say maybe say. But here comes where now you put all these things, but one of the partners is taking advantage of that. Now it prompts you now to come and say, we're going to have a set of things that you cannot, these boundaries cannot go beyond these boundaries. Because when you leave it open, one of you is taking advantage. And the way you stated before, losing someone who maybe you love or maybe something that you love is quite painful. You don't want to lose this person. You are left in a quagmire, in a dilemma. You need just to see how can we just keep it. Now you are forced to set maybe some things, maybe not rules, you cannot call them rules necessarily, but you can call them some boundaries that you're supposed to operate within, so that you don't lose this person. Because if you don't set that, they'll take advantage of the same and they'll go maybe and harm you when it is not good.
But can you just raise this story in a rule? Okay, at some point, Jeff is also right. Because some of us have loved people who did not reciprocate that back. We have given so much of us to other people that they didn't give back. And so after walking out of such relationships or other situationships, we find that we really have to set our standards. Like, me, I'm not going to love a man who is going to do this. I'm not going to love a man who is going to flirt. I'm not going to love a man who is going to party and all that. So at times you are forced to set standards and not rules for ourselves because we've given so much of us to people who never appreciated. Or rather, we've given so much of us to people who never saw the effort si tulikuwa tunawekea. So lazima tuweke hizo standards zetu.
I think we need to, for me, I think in love, we need to compromise, okay? Because I believe there is no relationship out there, romantic relationship, love relationship out there, that is 100% perfect. There is some things you have to let go because of that relationship. So we are sacrificing, we are compromising because we value the kind of relationship we have and we want to build it to something else. You understand? So, but that doesn't mean that you're limiting the other person. What I'm trying to disagree is Jeff trying to tell someone not to do and what to do in a relationship. But both of them can see that they value that relationship and they can compromise some things. They can try to change for their relationship.
Exactly.
You know.
And that point now, I guess you just come, it's only you are reading from the same page, but different maybe lines. Because you're saying compromise. That this person, maybe, it's not maybe you say some boundaries, but maybe they need to compromise some of the things that they loved. Maybe they like partying, they like flattery, and that was not occurring well with the relationship. So they need to compromise from themselves just for the sake of keeping this relationship.
And just to mention, I don't know whether you guys have been in love. I have. Okay? You know, love is something, it's heavenly. I have never been in heaven, but from what I hear, it's a good place. So when you fall in love, love inspires people to do things that they never thought they would do. You know, like it pushes you to levels and places you have never imagined you can go. If there are things you are struggling to do and you finally fall in love, it becomes so easy for you to go to that place and do those things. So from that perspective then, there is nothing that you cannot do when you are in love.
And that can only happen when you get someone who's like, they are thinking, if not the same, thinking, it's not the same, it is close. Exactly.
Alright.
Nice. Okay, tumesema in love we got expectations. Okay, and can you lose that person or stop loving that person as people fulfill your expectation?
I don't think. If you love someone, you can never stop loving that person. Hata kama amekudisappoint ama kama mmeachana. Now, I'm forced to speak this from a personal experience. I once loved somebody, and when he walked out, I never stopped loving him. Because ukishapenda mtu ndivyo. Hata kama amekuboa ama amekufanyia nini, love ni feeling. So you can never stop a feeling. Uwezi ambia heart place Jeff ameenda, so you like inaisha hivyo.
Despite whatever you expected from
so if you love someone, hata akienda akikudisappoint, you still love that person. That is what I call it. That is love. That is true love.
For me, it depends. The time you're entering to that relation now, that maybe romantic relationship, do you have expectation? It depends for you. It depends with you. Most of the time I find like, for me, maybe the experience that I've had alone, not necessarily expectation, but maybe maybe my expectation maybe can come the way how this person has pleased me. But for me, maybe I've never expected like from ladies, like to provide for something. Maybe for me, I always get into love. I just want somebody who is truly loving me. That is it. If she doesn't fulfill the expectation, maybe now coming to against what I was thinking she is not truly loving me. And that for maybe I cannot call it expectation, because for me that one is bad. Amechoma. Kama amebana. Yes, for me, like say the last experience I've had with love, the experiences, all of them are my friends. Because for me, I don't plan to hold grudges with anybody. One or another, if they have a challenge, I could step in and help them. But once I'm in trauma, side and be
You know, I earlier on I mentioned about expectations, and I think it's important for people who are in love to be open to what they expect. There is no relationship that moves on blindly. There has to be a direction, and that direction is determined by the conversations you guys have. You know, so I think the more you hold back from a relationship, from revealing what you feel and what you want and what you expect, the more that relationship is disastrous, because she has her own expectations based on her experience. And when she falls in love, there's something she values and prioritizes. So if that is not attended to, then that relationship is bound to fail. But when you speak out, especially at the beginning of any relationship, it serves a lot to just understand that this is what she's expecting from this relationship. Okay, and if it is something that is possible, it's practical, it can be achieved, well and good. If you think it is above your, pay grade, you just say. It is always nice to be honest, I think, so that then when a relationship is built on honesty, it's profitable to both parties, whether it has worked out or not. At least somebody will understand that guy was true, like he told me this is what was expected, it happened or it did not happen, so be it. Rather than having things that you want in a relationship but you haven't said them. Yeah. So when I don't finally fulfill what you're expecting, you become angry and I don't know what you want, And then we can even enter into arguments and stuff like that. Sometimes you reveal your expectations at the end when things are tough. And me, I didn't know about these things from the very beginning. So I think expectations are varied from people to people based on their experience and things like that. If you have found someone and you have fallen in love and things are all rosy, that is the time now to lay down the things you want and the things you don't.
Okay.
And maybe before coming out to reality, this is not maybe most of the things I've been speaking about maybe personal experience, something that I've experienced. But now coming to reality, most of the time now, going to current generation, you'll find most of the ladies they fall in love. I don't know if they fall in love, maybe I don't know how to describe it. Because maybe we
will ask them so that
because they know maybe they have seen this person is always dressed right, is good, and now they have in their mind this person must be having money, and they must take care of him. They take care of themselves. Once they come into relationship and they find the opposite of the same, now they become frustrated. That's maybe experience from the people, or what I'm hearing from people. Most of the ladies now, expectation now when they get to a relationship, it's about to be maybe to be financed. You see.
Okay, and I would like to ask this: if from the beginning your partner amekwambia this is what I expect from you, then maybe ni overboard. Will you still get yourself into that relationship if unajua from the beginning I can't fulfill it?
You have a conversation about it. That is the reason why you need to talk about it. Yes, this is what you want. I think it is a little bit higher than what I can deliver. Do you think you can, just adjust a little bit and we meet in the middle? You have to agree. And that is the beauty of relationships. And if you cannot agree, then that relationship doesn't make sense.
Unfortunately, it's the opposite of what is happening. Because even if there are late dates, me, I expect you to do my hair like every weekend. I expect you to buy me shoes every weekend. Whenever I have parties with my girls, you need to finance me.
Why the hell will a girl expect you to do her hair?
Most of the
it is her hair.
Most of the
Keep your woman smart. Keep your woman smart.
No.
Reality.
Ladies, hope you know that.
And now the issue now comes, the man won't say like you will not be able, you're not in a position to do that. Because they say, oh madam nikuchoka. So they keep like that one, don't worry. You are taken care of. I'm going to take care of you as a queen. And now they come and living a lie.
Let me say something, because I think whatever I mentioned has gotten this one on the wrong footing. I believe that being in a relationship, you are not someone's financial. Okay? It's either even the ladies. Right now we have women who are successful, they have their own money and stuff like that. Either way, I think in relationships, as I mentioned, it's a sacrifice. You want to see the other person improved because you love them, okay? But when it comes to a level where it is now demand, that is not a healthy relationship, okay? I love you. I want to take you to the salon. I want to do your hair and that kind of thing. I want to take you to the boutique and buy you a nice dress. That's fine. That's what I want for you. But when you start demanding those things from me, it is entirely, it's a business enterprise. It's something entirely different. And those kind of relationship is what I am totally against. Let people agree. Why would you, let me just ask this. For the ladies, why would you demand something you know that your man cannot provide? Even in the normal, sensible way, why would you demand such? Yeah, he doesn't provide, he doesn't do your hair, and you want him to do it. Walk out, find someone else who can do it. It's that simple.
No, you know what he's saying, like, why would I demand something from my man and I know he can't do it? Sweetheart, you can make my hair. Why are you saying that? Okay, making your hair, like keeping your lady, kumfanya kaipoa, you know, it's something you can do. Can't you do that?
Hana cha kusema hakuna vile ataingia kwa relationship anafanya nini na lose that person. So to me briefly, what do you think? Can you love and lose, or it's better to have never loved at all?
So let us just love and lose people, because it's all the same. Like, is it better to have lived and done nothing, or ukose tu kuishi, you know? So it's better to love and lose. Love and lose someone, then from there grow, and you can make a decision never to love at all. But say, love and lose people. It happens.
For me, I have two segments of the same. If you love someone and lose that person, when the love is about sacrifice, you are sacrificing. You are doing it out willingly. The same with speaking, we talk about maybe based on someone or something. You're doing it willingly. It won't hurt you. It's the same way like you call, maybe you meet a state girl, you give them the food, this person abuses it, it won't hurt you. If that is the love that maybe people could experience and lose people, then it's right to love and lose someone. But when you come down to the love that maybe is kind of maybe made investment, and then lose this person with petty issues, maybe they leave you. I hear somebody, they just wake up and say, you're not my type. All along with me, he has been my type, he has been providing everything, and maybe I've even had someone, as another student, somebody said, that person took that lady to school, he did everything. And then at the prime time of getting married, the lady said, like, me, I'll be forcing myself to get married to this lady. That's painful. And so that person, I'm very sure, well in the shoe of that person wished never to have even.
Take your wife to school, the one that you have married, not your girlfriend. So, but love, I think it's a risky venture, and whoever allows themselves to love, they need to understand that there are risks. People will not reciprocate, or people will misuse you, or people will finally walk out on you, and things like that. But that is not entirely sufficient for you not to love. I began by saying that the human mind, the human body was designed to love. So allow yourself to experience what love is. If at the end of the day it doesn't work for you, too unfortunate. But if it does, you'll be grateful that you allowed yourself to.
Thank you all for today's show. Our viewers are coming to the end of our show. But don't forget to keep your comments coming on our social media platform, that is YouTube, WhatsApp, Twitter, and Facebook.